This is the LG 14,000 British Thermal Units Dual Inverter Smart Window Unit Air Conditioner. The standout benefit is simple. It cools a real space quickly and does it with a calm, low hum that does not take over the room. This sits in the window air conditioner category, and it is best for people who want strong cooling for a medium to large room, an open living and dining area, or a finished basement, without the constant roaring drone that older window units make. If you have been living with a decade-old unit that rattles, cycles hard, and blasts air like a box fan, this feels like stepping into the quiet lane while still getting serious cooling. If you need something that can handle muggy days, handle a bigger footprint, and gives you smart controls without adding complexity, this checks those boxes. Design-wise, it looks like a modern window unit with clean lines and a front grille that does not call attention to itself. What matters for daily use are the parts you touch. The front panel pops out easily for filter cleaning, and that matters a lot because if you have ever owned a window air conditioner, you know a clean filter is the difference between smooth airflow and a wheezy underperformer. Here, the filter slides out with 2 fingers, you wash it, dry it, and slide it back in. No replacement cartridges, no hunting for a compatible part. The air direction vanes have a good range of motion. I can angle the airflow up, down, or to the side, and it actually holds the position I set. In my basement window, I need the air directed downward, and this unit lets me push the vane down enough to keep the cool air in the room instead of blasting the ceiling. The control panel is straightforward. You get a clear display, tactile buttons, and simple mode options that make sense in real life. There is cool mode for normal cooling, energy saver mode for cycles that keep the compressor from running constantly, fan mode when you just need circulation, and dry mode for those swampy days when humidity is the real enemy. There is also a sleep mode that softens the fan and gradually adjusts the target temperature so you do not wake up shivering at 3 in the morning. The remote is small, light, and does the essentials. I wish it had a backlight for late-night adjustments, but it works from across the room reliably, even from about 20 feet away as long as you have a clear line of sight. Setup was more hands-on than a tiny bedroom unit, mostly because this is a higher capacity machine, and it is built accordingly. I followed the instruction to pull the inner chassis out and set the case in the window first. That approach makes a difference if your window is awkwardly placed. In my case, a higher basement window meant lifting at an uncomfortable angle, so having 2 people made it safe and manageable. With a regular living room window where you have room to move, this would go faster. Give yourself time and a second set of hands and you will be fine. Once it is in and leveled, it feels secure. The 3-prong cord reached my floor outlet without stretching, though I would not have complained about an extra foot to tuck the cord a little cleaner along the baseboard. Getting the smart features online was refreshingly painless. I connected it to my wireless internet using the LG ThinQ app, and the pairing took just a couple minutes. No looping error screens, no mystery codes. The unit shows a little light to let you know the connection is active. From there, I linked it to Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant so I can say, turn on the air conditioner, set cooling to 68, or switch to energy saver. It is the kind of convenience you do not think you need until you are half asleep on the couch and you just want a degree cooler without getting up. The app control is reliable away from home too. I have turned it on from the driveway so I walk into a cool living room, or turned it off from the office when I realized I forgot to power it down. Scheduling is built into the app, which is perfect for a consistent weekday routine. Performance is where the dual inverter design shows its value. Instead of that old school on-off surge where the compressor kicks in, roars, and then shuts off, this ramps smoothly. The compressor changes speed to match the demand, so the room hits the target temperature without that overshoot and chill that used to have me grabbing a blanket in the middle of summer. The result is steady, even cooling and lower background noise. At low and medium fan speeds, I can still focus, take calls, or watch a show without boosting the volume. On high, you know it is working, but it does not cross into that rattly metallic roar that cheaper units have. When I set it to 60 degrees for a quick cool down after a workout, I can feel the difference within minutes, and the whole space feels uniformly cooler rather than having one freezing corner and one lukewarm corner. Dry mode deserves a special mention. On humid days when the temperature is not outrageous but everything feels sticky, dry mode pulls moisture out efficiently and leaves the room more comfortable without making it an icebox. You will sometimes hear a gentle trickle or splash as the system deals with condensation on very humid days. That is normal, and it is not an annoying sound, more like a quiet water whisper in the background. Energy saver mode also does what it says. The fan cycles down, and the compressor only kicks in as needed. If you are trying to keep power usage in check while still staying comfortable, that is the mode I lean on during most afternoons. Real-world testing over a few weeks gave me a good sense of behavior in different scenarios. A humid Saturday with cooking in the kitchen, doors opening and closing, and a cluster of people in the living room is a brutal test for any window unit. This one kept up without turning the space into a wind tunnel. It throttled up when it needed to and settled back down once the room stabilized. During a quiet evening with just a lamp on and a show playing, I left it in sleep mode and did not have to touch a thing until morning. On a cool, rainy day, fan mode kept air moving enough to keep the room from feeling stale. I also tested how quickly it recovers after the unit has been off all day with the blinds open and the room warmed up. Kicking it into cool at a low temperature setting, I had a comfortable space in a short amount of time, and it held that set point without constant loud cycling. Day to day, the small details matter. The filter reminder light popped on after a stretch of heavy use. I pulled the panel, rinsed the filter in the sink, let it dry, and slid it back in. That is a 5-minute task that helps keep efficiency and airflow where they should be. The vent controls do not drift from where I set them, even when I crank the fan to high. The thermostat feels accurate. When I set it to 68, it behaves like 68, not 62 or 73. The remote range is genuinely useful. I have used it from across a long room with no misfires. I also played with a little fragrance pad behind the filter, which is not included, but the airflow carried a light sent through the room without restricting airflow. There are a couple of nitpicks. The power cord length is fine, but a little extra slack would make cable routing cleaner in some rooms. And while the remote is functional, a glow or backlight would be helpful at night. Neither of these are deal breakers, just real things I noticed while living with it. During installation, if your window is tight or unusually high like mine, plan ahead so you are not wrestling the weight at arm's length. If you install it square and level, you will avoid tiny vibrations or buzzes. I had a minor rattle on day one, shimmed the right side a touch, and it disappeared. One specific use case that has been great is a basement workspace. Basements can be tricky because they hold humidity, and they can feel clammy even when the thermometer says you should be comfortable. I have been using dry mode for the first hour to pull moisture down, then switching to energy saver at a cool setting while I work. The space feels crisp, my equipment stays happier, and I am not distracted by fan noise during calls. If I step out for lunch, I use the app to nudge it up a degree or two, then bring it back down a few minutes before I return. The smart features are more than a checkbox. The voice control with Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant is consistent, and the scheduling in the LG ThinQ app is straightforward. I like that I can see the current status at a glance, adjust the target temperature, change modes, and even see notifications like the filter reminder. This is the kind of execution that blends into daily life and actually saves me small bits of time and annoyance. The wireless connection has stayed solid. I set it once, and it has not dropped off or made me reconnect. If you are replacing an older unit, the first thing you will notice is quiet confidence. It cools better with less fuss. It saves energy by not slamming the compressor on and off, and it gives you control whether you are on the couch or across town. If you are outfitting a larger room, this capacity has the headroom to keep up without feeling like it is always sprinting. If your window setup is awkward, plan the install and get a second pair of hands. Once it is in, you can forget about it and just enjoy a comfortable, controlled environment. If you want a window air conditioner that feels modern without feeling complicated, this one fits that role very well. If you found this video helpful, Subscribe to the channel for more real-world tech reviews, and drop a comment with your questions or your own experience with window air conditioners. Thank you for watching.